starting my morning off with the usual. Finally actually picked up some sweet cream. The macros aren't that bad for like 15 grams of it, which isn't too much. It's about 5 fat, 5 carb, and 0 protein. But anyways, I got sweet cream. This looks delicious. I will save some macros for my creamer. Okay, that is just how I do it. I love my coffee, so let's get it. You guys know that it is fall time, which means pumpkin everything time, but this time I got the pumpkin fat and 32 carb. You guys, these are worth it. Every gram. I want to talk about something quickly that that actually hit close to home today, and I feel like a lot of people can actually relate to this. It was actually something that I was talking to my personal client about. But beforehand, I'm going to Barbell Brigade today. Amanda is actually starting her powerlifting program, and I've been obviously powerlifting for like the past year now, so it's gonna be really exciting. We're gonna talk about the differences between powerlifting and bikini, about like training and just how the whole prep goes for it. Also, when you should decide on actually competing in either one of them. So it's going to be a really good discussion because I have experience in bikini and in powerlifting, and Amanda is a bikini athlete who is jumping into powerlifting. So it's just going to be a great discussion, and we're going to barbell, and barbell's like the bomb. But something I want to talk about is balance. Finding your own balance. Everyone's balance, an idea of balance is going to be a little bit different. Sorry, I keep like switching back and forth. I'm just like holding my camera and my arm is dying. My arms are dying. So yeah, everyone's outlook on balance is going to be a little bit different. And balance, I will say, is what works for you. And honestly, with experience, getting out of a bikini prep, it's really hard to find balance because you go to such an extreme, and then coming back, it's kind of confusing. So I feel like that's why refeeds are really good, just so you don't like instantly jump into a binge, like a slow, like upping your food type of a deal when you hop out of a show. But anyways, my point being, guys, is that life is about living. It also is about remembering your goals and staying true to your goals and what you want in the future. But at the same time, you know, if your friends come into town or something like that, and, you know, like just realistically, like, you're not going to be bringing your scale everywhere. Who knows if they want to go out and have a drink or something like that. And obviously, you know, the circumstances are going to be different. If you're like a week out from a bikini show, then you definitely should be sticking to your goals. But if it's something like, you know, it's really just staying consistent over a long time span. I feel like a lot of people will stay consistent, and then they'll have nights that they mess up and they go over their macros by a lot, and then the next day they just feel like shit and they feel like their life is over. But really, that's not what it's about. It really is about learning, balancing all of that. So circumstances are going to be different, but you know, it's also learning the balance of not getting fixated on always hitting your numbers like that. It really is just, you know, finding what works for you, and that comes with experience. For example, this weekend, went to Olympia. I was in Vegas. I already knew that I was probably going to be drinking. I already knew that, you know, Vegas has a lot of nice different restaurants to eat at. Not to mention they have like a ton of buffets. But for me, I just try to find a balance to where if I knew that I was going to be drinking, which drinking can, you know, we all know, rack up in calories quickly, I was very intuitive and watched what I ate. So when I went to nice restaurants that I knew were going to have, you know, the best pizzas, the best burgers, I didn't get those types of foods. I would get like a salad and, you know, some like chicken that I know is going to be lean. I asked them to cook certain meats for me in a different way. You know, can you not use oil? Can you not use butter? Really just finding a balance, guys, and that comes with experience, and it comes with learning like what works for you. So that was just an example of what works for me. I'm just very cautious when I go out to eat if I know that I'm going to be in a situation where I am going to break my macros or I'm going to not count. So it's really just finding balance and not beating yourself up if you do go over your numbers, because it's all about the bigger picture and being consistent over a big time span. And life is also about living and not getting fixated on the scale and not getting fixated on you know, hitting your macros. You probably relate to me in fitness or what have you. So yeah, guys, I just thought that'd be my little tip of the day. I'm about to go do some cardio right now before we actually go to the gym, guys. I hope that was helpful. It's nice that I'm able to share my thoughts on topics like that, because I know that a lot of people struggle with that, because I myself struggle with it, and many of my friends I know struggle with finding balance. You're not gonna have, life isn't a yes or no answer, guys, okay?
like you guys just saw, when you're competing in a bikini competition, in terms of eating, you're going to be eating less and less calories as your prep goes on, because you're trying to get leaner and leaner. And it's really bodily focused and aesthetic focused, so you're going to be trying to get leaner and lose body fat. So you're eating less going into show, and then by the time you get to your show, you're actually at your weakest point and at your lowest body fat percentage, but you're at your like weakest physically. So that's kind of the mindset in terms of eating for a bikini competition or eating for a bodybuilding competition at all. The nutrition is going to be a lot different. But when you're training for a powerlifting meet or training for strength, your focus is to fuel your body for your training. So your focus is mainly on your gym performance, and food is merely, it's not just something to focus on for what your body looks like, but it's something to focus on to enhance your gym performance. So the mindset for food is a lot different, and that's like one of the main reasons that I don't struggle as much in the off-season, because that's my goal, and I know in my mind that eating for gaining strength is a lot different than the mindset that you have for eating to lose fat.
So Amanda has basically murdered it on the nutrition part of bikini and powerlifting. But so as far as the training part of it goes, the difference between the two really is, obviously in bodybuilding, you're training much more for aesthetics. You're gonna find that you do a lot of more accessory movements. For me personally, I actually didn't do squats in a few of my bikini preps just because I was scared of getting injured. I mean, not that that was
That's a huge thing for training, yeah.
Yeah.
Like potential injury while you're in a caloric deficit is much higher.
Yeah.
When you don't have enough like food to fuel.
Exactly. So I actually, in my second bikini prep, cut out deadlifts and squats. But the difference really between the two is bodybuilding, you're obviously focusing more on aesthetics, and powerlifting, you're focusing on getting the big three, strengthening the big three and everything that you can do. So for bodybuilding, accessory movements are going to be more smaller groups, you know what I mean? Like obviously areas that we're focusing on for bikini, delts, you know, your abs, your glutes, your hamstrings, stuff like that. And going into powerlifting, the main focus and goal is strength and maximum lift. So you're focusing on the big three, getting stronger in those ways, and accessory movements for powerlifting are going to be things that strengthen and are going to enhance the big three.
Right. So tricep stuff going to enhance your bench.
Exactly.
Like that.
So like hip thrusts in order to help your deadlifts, pen play rows in order to help your deadlifts, just stuff like that. So that's really like the main difference. They kind of, I was talking to somebody else about this, but they kind of aren't hugely different besides the fact that you're incorporating the big three more for obvious reasons. When you compete, you can either choose to do an individual lift or you can choose to do a full-on meet and do all three. So
Yeah, so we also both like you said, you put out squats and deadlifts, but like, you don't necessarily have to
do that.
especially in the beginning of your prep. You actually shouldn't necessarily be like training that much differently, but as you get a lot closer to showtime, like you guys saw, you don't have as much energy and your potential to be injured is much higher, so you kind of just want to focus on bodybuilding style training more so. So those are kind of the differences between the two, and we both are like advocates for both, but since we both are again advocates for both, we want to show you guys the differences between the two and help you guys find your own passion for whatever style that you like best. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you Noelle for being on the channel. Appreciate you, she's awesome. So if you guys haven't subscribed to her channel, you definitely should. She's another competitive powerlifter, so if you guys like my channel, you guys will like her channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.